couple of just short statements.
All righty, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Ms. Lehman, would you please state your name for the court record?
Audrey Ann Lehman.
And Ms. Lehman, how are you related to Virginia C. Lehman?
She was my mother.
Okay, and she passed away October 24th, 2020 in
Yes.
West Middlesex, Mercer, Pennsylvania.
Yes,
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, she owned real estate in El Paso County, Texas, correct?
correct.
All right. The will has actually been probated and admitted to probate in Pennsylvania. Is that correct?
Yes,
And what you're doing is you're trying to admit the will as an ancillary proceeding of a foreign jurisdiction in Texas, correct?
yes,
Okay. Now, you were appointed the independent executrix, correct, by the will?
yes,
Okay. The will was self-proved and it was proved up substantially in Pennsylvania and accepted by the court there.
yes,
To the best of your knowledge, your mother never revoked the will?
no,
All right. So, excuse me. After the date of the will, which I presume you've seen, correct?
yes,
Okay. And after the date of the will, did your mother have any children?
no,
Okay. The date of the will would be May 12th, 2020. She had no other children, and she did divorce after that date either, did she?
no,
Okay. The will names you to serve as the independent executor, and you're asking the court to appoint you as the independent executrix in El Paso County, Texas.
yes,
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
no,
Have you ever filed and been declared a bankrupt?
no,
All right. Now, I'm going to ask you some other questions, some questions concerning the deeds to the property. There's a property that's the whole basis of this this probate. The property is lots 16, 17, and 18 in block 165 of Shadow Ridge Estates in El Paso County, Texas. Is that correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes,
Okay, and your parents, both your parents, was Russell A. Lehman your father?
Russell what?
Lehman.
Russell A. Lehman,
Yes.
my father, yes,
Okay. So your mother and your father purchased this property, correct?
yes,
All right. And there was a deed that was given to them that had a right of survivorship. Do you recall that?
yes,
And you've seen that deed also, correct?
yes,
And Pennsylvania is not a community property state. Is that my understanding?
correct,
All right. So there was an action in Pennsylvania to partition what was considered the community interest of the deed, and that's part of the deed also, correct?
yes,
But you come to the understanding that Texas is a community state, and they were married at the time of their purchase, so it should still be community property.
yes,
Okay, so there's a right of survivorship. Russell passed away prior to Virginia passing. Is that correct?
correct,
Okay. But nothing had ever been done, no adjudication or declaration had been done with that deed.
no,
Is that one? Right. So you're asking the court to adjudicate that deed as a right of survivorship deed as community property at this time. Is that my understanding?
yes,
Okay. Now, the property has never been sold by your parents, either of them.
no,
Is that correct? Okay. And through the ancillary proceeding, the proceeding that appoints you as the executrix today in Texas, you're going to use that to transfer the property to, I believe, yourself, Russell E. Lehman, and Arthur L. Lehman, who are your siblings.
yes,
And those are the terms of the will?
yes,
Okay. So for the clarification purposes for the will, it would be for the benefit of the estate of Virginia that the right of survivorship would take place and be adjudicated in favor of Virginia since she survived your father.
Correct.
Okay, I have no further questions of this witness.
Mr. Felby, I don't have the order for the admission of the, I have the one for the adjudication of the community property survivorship estate, but not for the admitting of the will.
Okay, I'll send it to you. We sent it, Your Honor, but I'll send it to you again.
Yeah, okay.
Send it to me now.
Let me give you Lamont's, my clerk is right here, is L.HAR
HAR
DTS at epcounty.com.
Okay, L dot
HAR
HAR.
D as in David,
Okay,
T as in
Like-
Tony, S.
okay.
Isn't this T?
T is on Tom, S is on Sam.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said P as in pony.
No, he said Tony.
Oh, sorry, Judge.
At epcounty.com.
.com.
Okay, let me send that to you.
Too many years.
Sorry, Judge.
HARDTS at epcounty.com. L dot. Okay. So I'll await that in the court after hearing testimony will admit the last will and testament of Virginia C. LEHMAN into probate and also authorize the or admit the application to adjudicate the partition of community property here in Texas as to the property that is located here in the county of El Paso.
Okay.
Matt, just keep in touch with Mr. Falvey. There's some documents that must be prepared. If you want to have any questions of the attorney, Mr. Falvey, go ahead.
Well, Mr. Hirsch, the only reason that we had asked you to be here was to testify as to the practicality of what's considered community property in Pennsylvania. Community property is not considered so in Pennsylvania, correct?
That is correct. We are a common law state, and husband and wife hold property just because they're husband and wife. They hold real property as tenants by the entireties, and that death in Pennsylvania it automatically transfers to the surviving spouse.
But given your understanding of Texas law, the property would be community property, correct?
That is correct. It would be community property, and the attorney prior to me, before getting involved, did not understand community property and filed the partition that we've discussed.
And based on your understanding and discussions about Texas law, you understand that the partition can only take place on a divorce or on a death under Texas law, community property,
Yes,
or
that's-
an order of the court.
yes, and I understand.
Okay,
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ma'am, and I'm sorry for the loss, ma'am, of your mother. So as I mentioned, just keep in touch with Mr. Falvey. There's about 3 documents that must be prepared, okay?
Okay.
will you give me that email again? It just kicked it out, just kicked it back.
It's L is in Larry dot Hartz, HAR, D is in David, T is in Tom, S as in Sam
Okay,
at epcounty.com.
okay, there goes the order. See if you received it.
Yeah, he's right here. Let me see. 27th. Here you go.
Get it?
Did you get it? Huh?
Popped in just now.
It just popped in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr.
Okay.
Hirsch, take care of yourself, Mr. Hirsch. Nice talking to you.
Thank you for the courtesy of the court today. We appreciate it, and our good counsel in Texas has done an excellent job.
He's a very fine attorney. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And I'll be in touch with you, Mr. Hirsch.
Thank you very much.